yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
I don't judge, and the old timers didn't either, fighters chronologically as much as I do by the amount of fights they've had and the amount of punches they've taken. I judge them that way.
Because he definitely had the skill of a top five, just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get. And that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody.
Boxing pundits are beginning to whisper what was once unthinkable, that Terence Crawford may outshine a prime Floyd Mayweather. After his stunning unanimous decision victory over Canelo Alvarez to become undisputed super middleweight champion, Crawford earned praise not just for the win, but for how he won, dominating from range, switching stances seamlessly, standing his ground under pressure, and mixing strategy with brutal efficiency.
Crawford outboxed Canelo, made Canelo miss, stood right in front of him when he was supposed to. He moved when he was supposed to. Made it look easy. He beat Canelo Alvarez better than Floyd Money Mayweather, which makes him better than Floyd Money Mayweather, in my opinion.
Experts like Bob Arum have even claimed that Crawford's ambidexterity and complete skill set make him uniquely capable of matching or even surpassing Mayweather in his peak.
Canelo wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you when Crawford and Spence that Crawford would beat the hell out of him, but Canelo is a different proposition. It's an interesting fight, but I think there's only one winner.
What fight would make the most? Why do you feel he wipes the floor with him?
What?
Is it because of the weight difference?
Because Canelo, Canelo is used to fighting at a particular level, and and I don't think that Terence can hurt Canelo, but Canelo can hurt Terence.
Do you think the welterweight Boots Ennis would stand a chance against Crawford? Or?
I have no idea, but I know that Boots Ennis is a tremendous fighter and a great talent. Whether he'd stand a chance with Crawford, I don't really know, because at 147, Crawford is, I think, unbeatable.
The debate over who's greater, Floyd or Terence Crawford, was reignited when Canelo Alvarez, who has fought both men, declared that he believes Crawford is superior. Canelo's remarks came after Crawford defeated him by unanimous decision in 2025 to become the undisputed super middleweight champion. He pointed to Crawford's adaptability, intelligence in the ring, ability to switch guards, and defensive skill as evidence that Crawford outclasses Mayweather.
And he say he might be better than Mayweather. I can see it, because Crawford got a little bit of Mayweather in him, but he got the offense going on. It's not like all defense, blocking everything, points, you know. Crawford can actually hurt you. He's actually a fighter. He'll fight you. You know, he'll box you, but he'll fight you too. He ain't no joke.
Mayweather Jr. built a legendary career marked by his perfect 50-0 record, unmatched defensive mastery, and capacity to dominate in multiple weight classes from super featherweight up through light middleweight. He was famous for immaculate footwork, reflexes, counterpunching, and an uncanny ability to avoid serious damage while dictating pace. Mayweather won 15 major world titles across 5 weight classes, and in an era when boxing was extremely competitive at each level, he often took on fighters who were big names and champions in their own right.
Of all the fights, you've had 50. Who would you say was your toughest opponent?
You got guys that punch hard and hit hard, and you got guys that come out and win a few rounds, but nothing really was tough. I've been in a boxing gym and guys have given me great sparring and great work. They say ass whooping will humble you. I go home and say, you gotta tighten up, champ.
Yeah.
You gotta get it together, champ. And then sometimes I go home and say, is this for me? I make mistakes, but I strive every day to be a perfectionist. And we all know God only made one thing perfect, and that's my boxing record.
You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights, or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
Terence Crawford also possesses an undefeated streak with more than 18 major world titles in 5 divisions and has become the first male boxer to become an undisputed champion in 3 weight classes. Crawford is a switch hitter, carrying power that travels with him up in weight and delivers both technical precision and finishing ability. He has had dominant performances over elite foes like Errol Spence Jr. and most recently, Canelo Alvarez.
You know, he was a little frustrated in there, but that's part of the game.
And last question is, I know Trey, after the fight, have you feel yet the significance of this win and what it means in your legacy and your career?
To be honest, when I set my sights on doing something and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me, you know, but for me, I knew I could do it, and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Terence, when did you know that you were going to beat him? Over here on your left.
When he signed the contract.
He seemed to focus mostly on body punches, and you were hitting him in the head a lot. Was it your reach that gave you the advantage?
It was everything. You know, he wasn't hitting the body or anything. He was hitting my elbow because I was blocking it. But, you know, I think I was the better man tonight.
Crawford's recent fight against Canelo proved to be one of boxing's landmark moments. Crawford moved up 2 weight classes to challenge Canelo for the undisputed super middleweight titles and came away with a unanimous decision after 12 hard rounds. The judges scored it 116, 112, 115, 113, and 115, 113 in his favor. Crawford's strategy was simple. He controlled the ring using sharp footwork, precise jabs, and well-timed counters, while also absorbing Canelo's power and pressure without cracking. Despite a cut over Crawford's right eye from an accidental headbutt, he never let the momentum slip. The win made him the first male boxer in modern boxing to become undisputed champion in 3 weight divisions, pushed his record to 42-0, and cemented his place among the sport's elite.
To be honest, when I set my sights on doing something and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me, you know, but for me, I knew I could do it, and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Terence, when did you know that you were going to beat him? Over here on your left.
When he signed the contract.
He seemed to focus mostly on body punches, and you were hitting him in the head a lot. Was it your reach that gave you the advantage?
It was everything. You know, he wasn't hitting the body or anything. He was hitting my elbow because I was blocking it. But, you know, I think I was the better man tonight.
In a recent interview, Roy Jones Jr. has elevated Terence Crawford into discussions reserved for the best ever, insisting that Crawford possesses the kind of skill and adaptability usually seen in Hall of Famers. He believes Crawford's ability to switch stances fluidly, his timing, his ring IQ, and his complete offensive and defensive control mark him as exceptional. Though Jones Jr. admits Crawford still needed certain marquee matchups to cement his place, he considers Crawford's recent performances, especially the dominance over highly regarded opponents, as proof that he is finally fulfilling the expectations his talent has long promised.
I'd rank him probably in your top 10, maybe even your top 5.
Where do you rank Terence, in your opinion?
I put him in the top 15, maybe the top 10, because he definitely had the skill of a top 5. Just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get, and that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody. That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best opposition near our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe, you know, Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for like pound for pound, that maybe Inoue because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donaire. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times. He lost nobody. Don't tell me he better than Bud, no.
Keith Thurman was vocal in praising Crawford's performance, describing it as a boxing clinic where fundamentals, ring generalship, and intelligent tactics ruled the night. He pointed out how Crawford effectively used his jab, movement, angles, and distance to neutralize Canelo's usual pressure and power advantage. Although Thurman had earlier expressed concerns about Crawford moving up in weight, he admitted that Bud's speed, timing, and composure proved decisive. Thurman also acknowledged that Canelo looked slower than expected and appeared unable to adapt or impose his physical strength as in prior fights. Ultimately, Thurman conceded that Crawford's win was a masterclass in strategy and skill, underlining that Canelo, while still dangerous, was outboxed in almost every respect.
What's up, people? It's the morning after the big fight. Crawford Canelo. Shout outs to Crawford. You did it, boy. You did it. For those who still aren't quite sure what they witnessed last night, I'm going to let you know that you witnessed what is called a notorious boxing clinic. This is everything done right, okay? First, he worked behind the jab, people. Boxing 101. Set your shots up behind the jab. Canelo froze up. He was able to minimize the pressure. Step 2, use the ring. Use the ring. Get to the outside. Make Canelo pivot. Make him pivot. Don't let his feet settle. Okay? Pick your spots. This was a notorious hit and don't get hit. That's boxing 101, people. It's actually the definition of boxing. For those who don't know the definition of boxing, it's to hit and not get hit. It's almost like a game of tag, to simplify it for you folks. All right? And yes, Crawford was tagging him. Not just with the jab, moving, but he was able to do another key factor, which is get respect in the ring. He was able to hold his ground in pockets, work the body, go toe-to-toe, and catch him with that speed. Bah! With that speed, the straight left, the little uppercuts and the hooks to the body. Like I said, people, it was a clinic.
Fernando Vargas admitted he misjudged the matchup going in, acknowledging that Terence Crawford proved him wrong with a masterful performance. He expressed genuine surprise at the way Crawford executed his game plan, praising his sharp technique, flawless ring control, and precise punches throughout the contest. Vargas still gave respect to Canelo, noting that the Mexican star remains a dangerous and accomplished champion, but emphasized that on this night Crawford was simply the superior fighter. His reaction carried humility, as he owned up to underestimating Crawford, and admiration, as he recognized the skill and dominance that allowed Crawford to secure such a historic victory.
What's up, people? It's the morning after the big fight. Crawford Canelo. Shout outs to Crawford. You did it, boy. You did it. For those who still aren't quite sure what they witnessed last night, I'm going to let you know that you witnessed what is called a notorious boxing clinic. This is everything done right, okay? First, he worked behind the jab, people. Boxing 101. Set your shots up behind the jab. Canelo froze up. He was able to minimize the pressure. Step 2, use the ring. Use the ring. Get to the outside. Make Canelo pivot. Make him pivot. Don't let his feet settle. Okay? Pick your spots. This was a notorious hit and don't get hit. That's boxing 101, people. It's actually the definition of boxing. For those who don't know the definition of boxing, it's to hit and not get hit. It's almost like a game of tag, to simplify it for you folks. All right? And yes, Crawford was tagging him. Not just with the jab, moving, but he was able to do another key factor, which is get respect in the ring. He was able to hold his ground in pockets, work the body, go toe-to-toe, and catch him with that speed. Bah! With that speed, the straight left, the little uppercuts and the hooks to the body. Like I said, people, it was a clinic.
Fernando Vargas Jr., son of Fernando Vargas, has also offered his take on the recent fight. Vargas Jr. points out that Canelo's career has already been incredibly demanding, with around 70 professional bouts under his belt. Such a grueling schedule, he argues, inevitably takes a toll on a fighter's body, reflexes, and overall sharpness. While Canelo remains one of the sport's elite names, Vargas Jr. believes that the years of high-profile battles have slowly drained some of the explosiveness and drive that once propelled him to the top. He notes that Canelo's power does not appear as punishing as it used to be, and the eagerness that once characterized his rise now seems less evident.
The weight was going to be too much. It definitely wasn't. Yeah, it definitely wasn't. I ate my words up, you know what I mean? But... ¿Te acuerdas de esto? ¿Cómo es esta foto? Sí. Hace como 2 años. Sí.
Good. I was like, no, I'm not talking right now.
I have a green rope. You want one? I'll give you a coffee. All right, Carlos.
Excuse us.
Yeah. So, what was it?
What do you think happens next for both Canelo and Crawford?
I think that, man.
You got it.
Bud, I always knew that Bud was a great fighter. He can work both guards, orthodox and southpaw. Amazing talent.
Al Bernstein highlights another dimension of Crawford's abilities, and it is his unpredictability. He explains that Crawford does not follow a rigid or predictable approach in the ring. Instead, he adapts mid-fight, creating challenges for his opponents who struggle to read his next move. Against a boxer like Canelo, who thrives on timing and counterattacks, this unpredictability becomes a serious obstacle. Bernstein notes that Crawford's capacity to shift between orthodox and southpaw stances adds another layer of difficulty. This versatility makes it harder for Canelo to anticipate attacks, leaving him vulnerable to combinations he may not see coming.
Most fans or most people would probably say Crawford, I'm guessing, because that's a big part of how he's won, and everybody feels that and rightfully so, that the way he's figured out, he's constantly changing from lefty to righty. He's a person that alters his attack. Sometimes he's a boxer, sometimes he's walking people down. Canelo's style is more the same in most fights. He is a counterpuncher who's waiting for you to make your move so he can counterpunch you. Then when he has you in trouble, he's willing to move forward. His attack is a pretty straightforward one. On the face of it, you might say Crawford, but I think the thing about Canelo Alvarez is that he has seen every style that you can see.
Teddy Atlas has heaped praise on Terence Crawford repeatedly, appreciating the underpinnings of his greatness beyond just his wins. He's spoken about Crawford's rare mental gifts, his timing, instincts, ability to read opponents and adapt mid-fight. Atlas has suggested Crawford possesses those X factors that aren't always visible in stats, such as craftiness, ring IQ, and heart. He's also voiced admiration for how Crawford has moved through weight classes, maintained his skills, and taken on big challenges without shrinking from the risk. Throughout, Atlas insists Crawford is special, a fighter with tools and mentality few have, worthy of being counted among the best in the sport.
He passes the eye test. Everyone he's been in there, he's won convincingly. I know with the Matrimore fight, people want him to win big. It was his first time stepping up in weight to 154, and it was a guy with 300 amateur fights, only had 10 pro fights, but he had 300 amateur fights, with the best international fighters in the world. And he had a very deliberate style, a very distinct style, a very awkward style in its own way. So people don't look at that. They don't look at the things, obviously, that I'm looking at, being a trainer, being in the business of boxing my whole life, 50 years of it.
Jeff Mayweather, uncle of Floyd Mayweather Jr., recently weighed in on Canelo Alvarez's claim that Terence Crawford is better than Floyd. He suggested that Canelo's praise of Crawford could be strategic, a way to elevate the perceived value of his opponent heading into their fight. Jeff acknowledged that Crawford might be skilled, possibly matching Floyd in intelligence, yet he contested the view that Crawford has surpassed Floyd's defensive greatness. He also implied that such comparisons often come from fighters wanting to frame their victories over someone seen as better in order to enhance their own legacy. Jeff expressed respect for both fighters, but made clear he believes Floyd's track record still stands apart.
We got, Crawford. Do you think he stays there at 168? Does he go down to 160 and try to get another weight class? Yeah, I'll start with him first. You know, what's his next move? He said he doesn't want to rematch with Canelo, but that's, I think that'd be on the table. That's going to be a ton of money, obviously.
I think that the Canelo fight may be so big that it's a fight that he is going to actually probably say yes to.
I mean, he has to feel comfortable he can win again. It's not like he got lucky on a one-punch knockout. He won that fight.
Yeah, he won the fight, so I mean, I don't see him being. There's no reason for him to be scared.
Right.
You know, and I think that that might be the fight that he'll take out of all the offers that's out there, because now he's at 68. He don't want to go backwards and go down in weight classes and things like that.
Roy Jones Jr. suggested Terence Crawford might consider retiring after his monumental victory over Canelo Alvarez. Jones Jr. said that few fighters could match what Crawford has just achieved, implying there may be little left to prove. He praised Crawford's performance, particularly highlighting how moving up weight classes, facing a fighter of Canelo's caliber, and winning an undisputed title in a third division all underscore a career peak. While many expected Crawford to continue fighting, Roy's remarks stirred debate among fans and analysts about whether Bud should go out on top after this landmark moment.
A very smart fight. Took the fight in the middle, let Canelo get off his steam early, came in the later rounds and just outboxed him for a very smart fight. Then stand in the middle for him, made him use the ring like Canelo doesn't like to do. He took the Erislandy Lowry blueprint and used it very well.
How surprised were you with Crawford's performance? Was you surprised?
Not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. If you look at Erislandy Lowry, you notice Bud never turned right-handed the whole fight, because the new Erislandy Lowry gave him most trouble because you used the ring on him as a southpaw.
How special is Terence Crawford as a fighter? First person to be three-way undisputed.
Terence is very special. He definitely goes in the top 10, maybe even the top 5 of the best pound for pound ever.
Do you think, is there anything more for him now, would you say?
Nothing else left for him. That was it. He can call it a day now if he wants to.
Who do you think is greater in their prime, Floyd Mayweather or Terence Crawford? Share your thoughts in the comments.